Yeah, hi. Also, in the last session, we discussed about XPath in detail, so which completes our basic around how to interact with web elements. So today we'll start with Selenium, and for that we'll be discussing Selenium hierarchy. Hierarchy because before moving directly into Selenium and installing and writing those scripts, we should understand about the Selenium API, that how it works. So let's get with that. So let me open the notes. So here we can see this is a simple architecture or hierarchy of Selenium API. So we have a search context, which is an interface. Then we have WebDriver, which is an interface. And as we all know, interface has only does not contain any implementations inside the methods. So methods inside interface do not have any implementations. So we have a remote WebDriver class that implements this WebDriver and bifurcating that to, and then we have this Internet Explorer, Firefox, and Chrome WebDriver class, which extends this remote WebDriver as well. So let me quickly show here into this website. So this is this simple architecture. Oh, sorry, hierarchy of Selenium. Search context, then we have which extends WebDriver extends search context, and then we have remote WebDriver. So remote WebDriver is a class basically. So as we can see, square rectangle specifies for class, and we have JavaScript executor as an interface, take a screenshot as an interface, and then remote WebDriver. Then we have three classes: Safari, Chromium driver, and Firefox driver. So Safari extends this remote WebDriver, and Chromium extends the remote WebDriver, and Firefox extends this remote WebDriver. And under Chromium we have two, that is Chrome driver and Edge driver as well. So this is what the hierarchy looks like. So let's get deep down into this. So I'll refer this Naveen Automation Labs website for this. So as we can see, we have search context here. So search, let's see the explanation first. So WebDriver is an interface, and it extends search context interface. So that means WebDriver is an interface and that extends search context interface, which declares two methods, that are find element and find elements methods. So inside search context, we have two methods that are two methods, find element and find elements. So what does extends means? That WebDriver is extending search context means that whatever method are there inside search context interface will also belong to WebDriver as well. Since we know in Java, extends refers to if an interface extends this interface, then we'll have all the methods of search context into WebDriver as well. So that is what it means, that using WebDriver you can access search context interface methods as well. Okay, then if we go on to next one. So what we have, WebDriver has many abstract methods like get string URL. If you want to navigate to some URL, you can use the get method, close method, quit method. Close to close the browser instance, quit to quit all the browser instance, and to get the title of any page, you use get title. To get the current URL, you use the get current URL, etc. And there are a few more methods as well. So what so this is inside WebDriver interface. So WebDriver extends search context. That means all the function methods inside search context are by default present in WebDriver as well. So this WebDriver is also an interface, and as we know, interface always, if you we always define interface by extending it, by implementing it. Sorry, by implementing it. So for that we have an implementation class, that is remote WebDriver. So remote WebDriver is a class which implements WebDriver interface. This class implements all the method inside WebDriver, including find element and find elements, because since this find element and find elements are present inside the search context interface, so these are available here as well. So once we are implementing this, so we'll be able to implement these as well. Okay. And Then this class is being extended by the Internet Explorer class, Safari, Firefox driver, and Chromium driver as well, which extends Chrome driver as well, which has a Chrome driver class as well. So that is how the implementation goes here. So remote WebDriver has, so yeah, Chrome driver class extends Chromium driver class, which further extends remote WebDriver class. And finally, if we see Internet Explorer, Safari, that is Safari and Firefox classes directly extend the remote WebDriver class. Okay, so there's a bifurcation in Selenium 4, that until Selenium 3 we had only three classes: Safari, Internet Explorer, Safari, Chrome, and we did not have this Chromium driver class. Okay, so in Selenium 4 we have bifurcation that Chromium driver is another class which is extended by Chrome driver and Edge driver. So that is the architecture of Selenium 4. So let's move here, and so let's understand. We usually see that we write WebDriver is equal to new Chrome driver to launch the browser. So what does that mean? So WebDriver is equal to new Chrome driver means that the basically we are creating an object of the new we are creating object of uh, new Chrome driver class, and all the methods inside that this is the what this exactly means is that WebDriver is equal to new Chrome driver. We are creating an object of Chrome driver. Okay, so driver is the new Chrome driver is the runtime object. Driver is of type WebDriver, so we can access all the methods using Chrome driver instance. So if you write this, so you will be able to access all the methods of WebDriver. Okay, so if we write Chrome driver is equal to new Chrome driver, so in that case you will only be able to access the methods of only Chrome driver class, since you are making the object, since the type of driver would be Chrome driver, so you will be only able to access the methods of Chrome driver. So this is what Selenium hierarchy is about. So let's move on to the next thing, that is web elements. Okay, so let's see what web elements are. This is this one. Okay, so working with web elements, so this, what is this? Web element is an interface, so it has list of these methods here. Okay, so first is find element, which is used to locate a single element. Then is find elements, which is used to locate a list of web elements. Okay, then we have send keys, which is used to give keyboard operations. We have click for click operation. We have clear to clear out something. We have get text to get the text of that element. We have get attribute to get the attribute of that element. We have get css value to get the css value of that basically attribute. We have get size method to get the dimensions of that basically whatever element we are interacting to. We have is displayed method, so which is of boolean type. We have is selected, we have is enabled, we have submit. So is selected, is displayed, and is enabled means that the element that we are referring to is displayed into the UI or not. Is selected means that is that selected or not, and is enabled means is that enabled toggles, which we can say it enabled or not. Okay, so this is the hierarchy that goes on that. Yeah, so we this hierarchy is, guys, asked in interviews as well. If you are able to explain this hierarchy, so that's the first question basically around asked around Selenium. So we will one by one see what how to go with this. Okay, so let me so now let's discuss the first method, that is find element. So in order to find a single web element in a web page, we use find element method. So this method has a return type is web element, since it's inside the web element interface. So the return type is web element type only. So it takes argument as a locator that we studied using CSS selector, XPath, and all the 8 locators. So it uses argument as a locator. So, and this method is present inside search context, WebDriver, and WebElement interface. Okay, so this is find element, about find element. So then we have send keys, which is used to perform keyboard operations like entering data, or let me zoom in, entering data using keyboard or shortcuts basically controls your control V, etc. and all. So in order to perform keyboard shortcuts, we use enums. Okay, we have a keys as a enum which can be used to perform shortcuts as well. Okay, so this is about send keys. So let me quickly move on to the next one. That is, I think, here. Yeah. So let's see how to clear data from a text box. Let's see the use of clear method that we were discussing. So that is, let's say this is the script basically. Let me zoom in. So import, and these are import statements basically. So this is a basically class that we have made. This is main method, and this is we are initializing the browser, and then we are navigating to the URL that is here. Then what we are doing, we are finding this element using the driver.find element. Then what we are doing, we are doing a keyboard operation. We'll discuss this in the next part. I'll show you how to install and all things for Selenium. So this, the next step is we are clearing the text, that is using the dot clear method. So this is how we do this. So we'll see in the next lecture about how, what's the practicality about this. So next is how to clear data from text box using without using clear. So let's see the implementation by using send keys. If we see, we what we are doing is that we are using that text box web element. I think UN text box is the same. Yeah, this one is the web element. And what we are doing here is we are just sending it using control A. It is an enum basically that I told you, keys dot control plus A. So this will select all the text like control A we usually do with in manually. Then what we are doing, we are sleeping for 1 second in order to synchronize the script. Basically, this is a hard code wait that we'll see next in later further parts. So then what we are doing, you are we are using the same element, we are sending that keys dot delete. So what is keys dot delete will do, this will clear off the text box. Okay, so the next part is how to retrieve the text from a web element. That is simple, using the get text method. Let's say driver dot find element by dot tag name, that is h1 dot get text. This will simply give you the text which will be a type of string. So the return type of get text is string. Okay, so let's quickly move on to the next part. So this is all I'm just explaining. So in the next part we'll be doing the implementation for these as well. Okay, so uh, how to retrieve attribute value from the attribute of web element using the get attribute. So this will get you the attribute of that element, so which type it is. Okay, basically, so simple as that. Driver dot find element, and what we are doing, we are saving with the variable. And since this is saving in a variable, that is password text box, I think so. So the return type of driver dot find element method is a web element. So that is the type of this. As we all know, this is the variable, and this is the type of that, and this is we are finding using driver dot find element. So now password text box dot get attribute placeholder. So we are getting the value of that placeholder. Okay, so this is pretty much straightforward. We'll see in the practical. So how to retrieve the CSS value, what is the size of that basically button or something. Okay, so that can be used, that can be done using this CSS, and using get CSS value. So let's see, driver dot find element by dot tag name, and by dot tag name h1 is the tag name, and dot get CSS value. So dot get CSS value, and we are getting the font size. Okay, so this will give you the font size of that element basically. So how to find the dimensions of a web element? Dimensions of the web element means the size, height, width, and all. So this is also simple. Just driver dot find element, find that element and get the size of that. Inside the size, get size, we get the dimension of that, which is a class. Dimension we can see the type of this is dimension, so dimension is a class, and using that reference variable we can get the, we have the methods as get height or get width. Okay, so we'll see in detail. This is just an overview for this. I hope, I know you might not get this currently, but in the next part you'll get this. Just let's see the theory part first. So how to find the total page height? So in order to find the total page height, you'll just do dot get size and dot height, get height, using this dimension class only. Okay, so this will give you an integer. Okay, since height is an integer value. How to verify whether an element is present inside so using which method you can verify? We can use try catch also here. Okay, so if the element will be present, then it will give you, or it will throw an error, or let's know such element. Okay, so now we have, so basically what this question meant, that whether the element is present inside that web page or not. If driver.find element is capable of finding that, that means that element is present inside the web page. If it's not, if it is giving an error, that means simple that there's that the element is not present there. Okay, so now next is how to verify checkbox or radio button is selected or not, using the is selected method. Driver dot find element by dot class name, whatever is the element that is using the class name, we are locating the element. And then what we are doing, we are saving that, which is our, which will be obviously of type web element. And then checkbox dot is selected means that it will be checking that checkbox is selected or not. So we are just storing that into a flag variable that will be obviously is selected is a boolean type method. So the return type would be the return type will be a boolean only. So the variable name, so the type of variable will be, flag will be boolean. So just we are printing if flag, that means we all always we know if always executes for true only. So if this is true, we'll print that already select, else we'll just click on to that. Okay, if, as we know, if always executes for true only. So this is the next one, is how to verify whether the element is displayed in the web page or not. Using is displayed method, same as is selected. This will say that if the element is present or not, or is displayed or not. Okay, so this is exactly same as to this question that we saw. Oh, where was that? Where was that? How to verify whether, so you can use the is displayed or you can use a try catch block as well. Okay, so simple as that. Is displayed will store inside of a variable that will be always be a boolean, because is displayed the return type is a boolean type only. So then we are doing further operations around that. Okay, so this is nothing is simple. Further, okay, so we are, okay, this is the main script actually. Yeah, X part 2 and all. We'll see this in practical. Okay, so that is for today's session. We can conclude. I'll show you how the script looks like. Just got my setup done here. So what we are, let's understand, let's quickly give 5 minutes to this and understand. So what we are doing, we, what I did is I created one class for this. So what is this class? So this class is all just a simple class that is validating, I think, what it's doing. Okay, it's getting you the text of the list of web elements. Okay, so I don't know if there's an option to zoom here. No, so there's no option to zoom it. So okay, so what is this system dot set property is just setting up your driver instance. Okay, here we are passing the Chrome driver, whatever the driver we want. For Firefox you'll need to download the Firefox driver. For Chrome you'll need Chrome driver. And we are just passing the key, we use key and value pair. System dot set properties works with key and value pair. So we are giving WebDriver dot Chrome dot driver, and we are passing the Chrome driver executable file. Okay, here Chrome driver executable file, if I show you here, So this is the Chrome driver executable file that I have downloaded, the Chrome driver. And if you want to download, so if I'll show you, I just went off and saw searched around. So up till 100 114 version of Chrome, we can directly download the this WebDriver, but after that we'll have to use these APIs for which WebDriver exposes for this. Okay, so currently I was using 116. So 116 is the, here is the browser version you will get here in the about properties about Chrome, and you will be able to look around the, let's say I had 116. So what I did, just copy this and just paste this up and just enter your version here. Okay, so let me show you quickly. Just let's say I have Windows 32-bit. So what I'll do, I'll click on this, I'll just paste this up and just specify the browser version, seeing your browser version compatible, and just enter that, copy that, and just hit and enter. This will download a zip, and that will look something like a zip file basically in your downloads, and you can extract that. And extracting that, what we can do, you can just come here and just give the path of that this is inside driver d slash driver chrome driver underscore, this is the folder name, and this is the you need to give this driver.exe file name. If I show you, this is the file name that, if you if you see, I have copied the same path, that is D Chrome driver Windows 3216, and then I have given the file name, executable file name. So okay, so now what we are doing, we are launching the Chrome driver here. Okay, so launching the Chrome driver, driver is equal to new Chrome driver, means that we are launching the Chrome instance of, okay, using the driver we are launching the Chrome instance. So now what we are doing, driver.get, as so I didn't told you, driver.get is used to get the URL, you to navigate to a URL. Okay, so using driver.get you can navigate to a URL. Then what we are doing, we are maximizing the window, and then we are finding driver dot. If I show you, just press control space. Oh sorry, okay, this is an issue with Eclipse only. Driver dot, and you will get all the methods of the WebDriver. Okay, you can see driver dot equals find elements, get class, get current URL, I showed you, get title, get current, get page source, get window handles for window handling, window handles, hash code, manage and options. Inside options class, inside manage we have Windows class, inside Windows we have maximize class. Okay, let me show you. If I manage and then I click on dot, then I'll see we have a Windows class that is inside Windows method, that is inside options, and then we have maximize inside window method. Okay, so this is how we maximize the browser. By default it will not maximize, and then what we are doing, we are using driver dot find elements I'm using, we'll discuss in the next lecture. We are finding a list of element by by what does find element or find element accepts is a, in the argument it accepts a locator type. So which is a locator, I taught you xpath, css selector and all. So those are static methods. Since those are static method, if you hover it over here, so by is an abstract class, I told you. So using that by, since these are static in nature, so we'll be using by dot class name dot method name, by dot css selector, and we'll be just passing the x css selector here. I have written a css selector, so this will find this. And what it is doing, we are just storing this, since it is a find elements, so the return type is a list of web element. Okay, so now what we are doing, we are just printing the size. Ignore this for now, I'll teach you. And then I'm just looping around the size, and I'm getting all the text of this using a simple for loop. So it's pretty much simple. Okay, so if I show you, if I run this again, if I run this, run as Java application. Okay, it's opening here in my second screen. Let me give, dot sleep. So for thread dot for hard code waits for, we'll have to this throws an exception, we'll have to import that exception. Okay, we have to declare the throw that exception. Okay, so now if I run, this is on my second screen actually, that's why it's not working. This will initiate a browser like this and this will open. Now this will wait for 10 seconds, and now this should, after 10 seconds it will close, and this will bring this broccoli, cucumber, beetroot. Can you see it's printing broccoli, cucumber, beetroot, and all the text of these elements. So that, and finally we are closing the driver. Okay, so this is what today's lecture was about, and I hope you found the session as quite informative. For now we are doing this. In the next lecture, I would expect you to download Selenium and setup, refer a video from YouTube, or else if you want, I will give you a installation part as well. There's nothing, it's simple as that. You can refer a video, or uh, maybe we can do it also. There's no issue. So next we'll discuss about how to write those things, and how to, we'll basically use our website that we were doing, that is basically, what was that? This one, we'll try to interact with this website, and we'll write a script around this. Okay, in the next session. So let's see in the next session. Till then, goodbye, good all. So hope you'll found the information quite handy, and we'll meet in the next session. Thank you.